It's new.
Wow. By continuing to be in the meeting, you are consenting to be recorded.
Oh, I like it because I've recorded accidentally Zoom calls between friends and it kind of freaks me out. Like, I'm like, oh, why did that do that? Like, I totally forgot. So I like it.
Oh my gosh, Sue, what a couple 2 weeks.
I feel like I haven't talked to you barely.
You have, yeah.
It's like
I tried to leave you alone with Chelsea.
Never. You never have to feel that way. People always say that. I'm like, never, because if I don't, a lot of times when I'm with, like, all my guys are home, I do not. Chelsea's laughing because I sent her all the links. She's like, I think those were for Rachel.
She can join.
What was I saying? Oh, I don't have my phone on me quite often. So if I have my phone on me and you're texting, I'm happy. No, you can text me whenever you want.
The only time I texted, I said, I hope you're having fun. And you were like, we're having a little meltdown here, but it's all good.
Oh my gosh, it is sheer chaos when everyone is here. And we talk about it all the time. Like, Chelsea sent a note when she got home, like, oh my gosh, thank you. It's such a good time. I said, it was the most perfect chaos. She was like, I totally agree. It's just crazy because we're not used to having little ones. Our house is kind of set up, but we can't open windows because we're up high. And so it's crazy. It's chaos. And Lily now can walk in and out whenever she wants. That's not good. Thank God the pool wasn't open. If it was open, we would have had barricades at the doors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'd have to wear life jackets all day long.
Which is going to be a rule by the pool. That is a rule that I have with little ones. It's like you have on your whatever you use and it stays on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree. We have that rule too. Yeah. But anyway. Well, gosh, welcome everyone to Floss Toss, episode 23. It's Memorial Day weekend starting tomorrow here in the U.S. Well, today's the last day of school for us here.
Wow,
Alex is done. This was exam week in high school. Alex was done yesterday. George is done today at 11:30. I'll go pick up him, and this is a new thing. The guys want to go out for pizza, so I'm dropping off him and a bunch of buddies at the local pizza shop. I kind of feel like I should call ahead and just be like, okay, if they don't leave a good tip.
Yeah, that's all I ever cared about.
I know.
All I ever cared about.
But I bet they're going to see them coming in. They're going to be like, I don't want that table.
I know.
They're not going to tip well.
Oh my gosh, I remember that so well, having been a server, and I believe that everyone should work in a service industry at some point, right? Having been a server, that was my biggest concern, was like, you make sure you leave a good tip when you leave. All right, we got to get into the podcast.
Honestly, maybe I'll cut some of this out, but
some of that out.
We've got some cross stitch, I'm sure, obviously, to talk about. I have some punch needle to talk about, and I have some quilting. What about you?
Thank you for holding up the entire podcast today. Oh my gosh, Rachel, you have been on fire. I have been not having time. Like, I have to admit, like I always say, you make the time if you have, if you can.
Yeah.
With the girls here, like, that was chaos. Getting ready was chaos. And now I have a new oven, so I have to create a new work schedule. It's very different.
Yeah, I bet.
So it's all good, but I have to adjust to that. So
yeah.
And then I had some sample knitting I had to do for the shop for things coming up. So I haven't done a lot. I have a finish. It's not like I've done nothing. Yeah. I have a finish and I have a start.
Oh my gosh.
You have all the rest. I would have had quilting, but I had a few minor issues, like the light on my machine. I couldn't get back in. You really need the light. It's resolved. I don't know why. It's a simple procedure. But I bought
it's a push. We're talking about our featherweights. You have to push and turn, and I hate pushing glass like that.
Well, I was pushing, but it wouldn't turn. Like, I don't know. So I ordered new ones on Amazon, super easy. That's resolved. So that took up a whole day of what I wanted to be. It was really like frustrating, but I have bought supplies for another quilt, and I'm dying to sit at my machine because I also wound a bobbin, which was huge.
Yep.
And I threaded it and I sewed with it, and the noise is spectacular.
It is. Click, 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 click. I love it. I know.
It's so like nostalgic, right? Like that sound is like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's, yeah, well, we'll get into that one.
Okay.
Let's see your finish.
Okay,
let's start with the finish.
Okay, no ironing happened. I just have to accept myself for who I am, right?
Yeah.
It's time.
You're going to stretch it anyway.
Right. This was last time's finish.
Oh, yes.
I had finished that already.
Yep.
This is this time's finish.
No, you did not. Oh, that looks so good.
Beautiful.
That was a serious stitch. Like, there's a lot of stitching.
There's a lot. Like for, like, I think it's a month long. Isn't it like the month of June?
Yeah, this is a stitch along.
Yeah. So what I did was, like, I flitted a lot because I needed to get a feel for each one. So like I flitted, and then I committed. Like, okay, now I'm finishing that row, right?
And commit.
Flit and commit. That's going to be the name.
That's our title. Oh my gosh.
But, oh my goodness, I love it so much. So I think it was last week I didn't do much stitching. I think the week before I did a ton. I love it. I love it.
I love it. I mean, what's there not to love? Let's talk about framing. What are you going to do?
Okay, so the frame that I want it to be the lightest. And I have it in my head. I've got to talk to Paige about it. I can see it. I want it to be a little I like carved frames a lot. I really, really do. So I'd like to think it will possibly have a very slight carving in it.
Now, will you get the same frame for the other one too, the Prim and Proper?
Same frame line.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm all about the frame lines. And the one I'm thinking of for this is in the Larson Jewel line. I don't even know if it exists anymore. Like the line, because we had it at our shop. It was one of my favorites. And oh my gosh, can you believe?
That's amazing. You got that done. Oh, I've got a needle in mine. Oh yeah, see, you are a lot farther ahead than I am.
I am.
This is all I have on mine.
Oh, but you've been doing a lot of different things. I tend to be in this, like, I want to get stuff done place. And the only way I get stuff done, especially this project, let's talk about it, the Guest Room QalSalPal.
Yes. Okay, that works. Guest Room QalSalPal. Yeah.
So I am very anxious to get back to this one because this one's almost done too, you know.
I know. I got to get back to that one.
I'm very anxious. I think there's only one more that I don't have.
Because there's 12, right?
12. I think we have 11. That might be. What's happening with me is I'm craving a sampler. I'm craving this, right? Yeah. And a little more organization. I love stitching pictures, but this is picture number 3, and I'm on picture number 4 that I'm really enjoying.
Now, I want to do some punch needle with that. Maybe we'll talk about that in the punch needle section.
Okay, we will, because I totally want to, and I think it's very easy to transfer, and that big one, any of those designs to punch needle.
Any of them. I'm curious. Maybe what we should do, you pick 2 and I'll pick 2, and then when we're done punching, we'll show which ones we picked.
What if we pick the same 2?
That would be great. If we pick the same 2,
you have to move to Connecticut.
Okay, that sounds good.
Right, it's like, let's get a spy on that.
Okay, so that's that. Now, what else did you get to work on? Is there any other?
Do you have any other stitching?
Well, I do. I worked, gosh, you can't really tell much, but I worked on this one quite a bit. And it's not like you can tell. I mean, I guess it looks more
yes,
filled
you
in.
can. Yes,
I got the squirrel down there. I love this one so much. I love it, love it, love it.
I would encourage you to put something on the tree because the tree for me is over. Not that it's hard. It just takes a little more concentration, you know, the big willow.
Oh, yeah. But I need it on here just to feel like I'm getting things done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to finish that blue house and then I'm going to start the tree.
Yeah.
Just to get some feel of like accomplishment.
You've gotten a lot done. I can see a big difference.
Okay, good. Yeah, I love this. I do still have a couple of these kits in the shop. My kits are selling so well. I just wanted to say thank you. There's so many of you out there that I know watch our show and you're buying my kits and other items, and it's just a thrill when that purchase comes in. It just makes me feel more connected to you all. So thank you so much for that. But I mean, the colors in this are just spectacular. I know I've shown them before, but oh my gosh, it's just one of my most favorite colorways of a pattern.
I like La-Di-Da. I like a lot of their designs, and I like their color sense a lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay, another one that I love the colors for. Here are my colors. You know what? It seems to always have that green, that chartreusey green in there. It just makes everything pop. I went back to my sampler, Jessie Watson. And another one, I don't know if you're going to be able to see much. Oh my God. I'm getting there.
Don't you love how I get really close to
see? I don't know how best to hold it, but this one I've been doing in hand. Jessie Watson, this is a Hands Across the Sea little gem that is just such a fun, colorful one. I don't know if the colors show up so well on the screen, but
I love that one.
This one I've been doing in hand, as well as the Flea Market Flowers one, and I think for the I didn't even say what this was. This is La-Di-Da Love Abide. For this one, I still need it in a hoop.
Big.
I don't know why. 36 count yet. I'm just not feeling as comfortable. Maybe I need a smaller needle. I'd feel a little better, but
I use size 28s.
Do you?
I love 28s. I use it for 36 and 40. And if I went higher, which I will be soon because I'm going to be taking a road trip with our friend Sharon.
I heard that this morning on the Periscope, which, by the way, join Knit24 Periscope on Instagram. We're on there 8 o'clock in the morning, a couple mornings a week. It'll pop up on here.
I usually do Monday, Wednesday, either Thursday or Friday, or always like quite often on Thursdays. I've been having special guests.
I love that.
I do too. I mean, selfishly, I just feel like I'm getting to chat with my friends. And ask them questions. I love asking questions. It's my favorite thing to do, because I truly want to know the answers.
Yeah, you're good at it too. You're a good interviewer, Sue.
I don't know. I'm just so interested in people. I think that's it. Mm-hmm. And so this morning, Sharon of Sampler Style and Knit Style, and if you don't watch Sampler Style, it's a great floss tube. We were chatting, and she lives about 2 hours away from me, and we're going to do a meetup. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm more excited to see Sharon or go to the shop to get all that fabric. Both.
I don't think we want to tell people about the shop because it doesn't have an online presence, but it sounds like it's got everything.
So
and it's
I don't even remember the name, but if you watch it, you'll see. It's saved on IGTV.
Yeah, check it out. So it's super fun. But anyway, this morning you were talking with Sharon of Sampler Style, and why did we just go to that?
I don't know. What were you talking about? Love Abide.
Jessie Watson.
I have no idea. This is me. I'm starting to worry.
I'm losing my mind.
I know. Jessie Watson is gorgeous, though.
I have to say it's been a really fun stitch when I get to do it. This is just on an even weave that I coffee tea dyed.
That's what we were talking about. Needles, fabric counts. That was the sweater.
Oh, yeah. And we were talking about why.
Going higher and the needle size you were using.
Oh, and you're going to do a high count
Yes.
stitch along with. My gosh. Sorry, people.
I'm so sorry.
I know. That's
a lot. It scares me.
I do that too. But you know, we've got a lot of balls in the air we're juggling.
I keep thinking that. It's like, I must just be overwhelmed, right?
Well, and this morning, let's just go down rabbit holes here. This morning when you were talking to her about retreats, and I completely forgot you and I are on the wait list for that retreat. When you were like, when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I am. Oh, we got to make it happen.
We got
to make something happen. We need to just get out.
I know. I need to. I think it'd be so fun. And I love the thought of the three of us going, because I think we are all equally as in love with stitching as we are knitting. Like, it's funny because she's kind of me, right? She's a yarn dyer turned stitcher, and it's frustrating though. I'll admit it's frustrating because the time factor.
Why can't we just like one thing and just go crazy with it? You know, I just love all things.
I do too. I love everything, and it continues to grow. But I think it's important because we need our brains that are not working really well this morning. We need to keep challenging, and we need to keep learning new things.
Yes, we do.
Right?
And you were talking about going to she was talking about going to the attic, and I was like, I don't care if I am the worst stitcher. I will go to the attic and ask all the dumb questions and just have a ball. People can laugh at me, but I would love that. And if Nicola was there or something, oh my gosh.
And can I tell you, that's one of my favorite parts about you is you always ask the questions that I want the answers to. And you're the one that's brave enough. But I mean, let's face it, everywhere we're asking questions are our safe spaces. But there is no dumb question. People used to say that when I was teaching, like, I have a dumb question. It's like, oh, don't say that. Like,
right.
That's when I don't know it.
I come from the teaching background too, and I know if one person has the question, a few people at least have the question. So that's how I feel about it. But
I always appreciate
attic. I want to go to that one that's happening with the 4 designers in like Kansas City or something. Did you hear that everybody's going to? Michelle and Elizabeth Can Stitch, Liz, and I think even Carol Saltback Stitcher is going to be there. Why did we not jump on that bandwagon?
I don't know. It's so, like I said at the beginning, I am having this transition into back to normal is odd. It's odd. And I tend to be an overbooker. So it's like, I feel like it's hard.
Is Rhinebeck happening this year?
Rhinebeck is happening.
It is. Wow.
It's going to be on a different scale. I think the vendors are going to be very spread out. I'm feeling they're going to be praying for really good weather because I don't know. I don't even know. Like, it's close for me. I can do a drop down easy. I don't know. Again, that's so far away. We have no idea what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to commit to things that far away until we see more.
I agree. While we're talking about, let's go back to cross stitch.
Okay.
I have a new kit in the shop that I wanted to share with you all. Some have already seen it. Some have already bought it. And you know who my first person that bought it was?
Tell me.
Pam. Of Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching.
Oh, yay, Pam.
Isn't that cool? This is let me take it out of the package.
When you posted that, I was like, oh my gosh, you're starting another thing. You are on fire.
I saw this one and I absolutely fell in love when I looked at the details of it. It's the Songbird sampler by Artful Offerings, designed by Karina Hiddle.
That is so Pam.
I agree. It is so Pam. I love those singing birds, and I love the music notes. I'm a musical person. I played a lot of different instruments, piano through senior year. I took classes and sang in choirs in college, that kind of thing. And I've been going outside with Percy in the mornings and the birds at 6 o'clock in the morning, and this just spoke to me. And I packaged it with the DMC because the DMC is just gorgeous in this one, and it keeps the cost down. I think it'll look beautiful. And I just decided to make some blue flowers to kind of match the blue.
Love.
So that's the kit. It includes the flax Edinburgh, 36 count. So you'll just need one strand of it, and it's in the shop right now. So check that out.
It looks very small.
You know what? It's bigger than you think.
I know, it's probably deceiving.
The finished design size is 8.5 by 11.5.
Nice size.
Yeah. Stitch count's 211 by 151.
Nice.
And they actually have directions in here how to make it into a pillow, which I think is kind of fun. The finished pillow size is 10 by 13.
Oh, so, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're interested, check it out. I have several in the shop for sale.
I love it. I started one of your kits.
Did you? Oh, yes, you did. I saw that.
Would you like to see it?
I would love to see it.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I love this kit. I want to get the cover.
I did a little more on mine, but it's so ridiculously little that I'm not even going to show it. I love that one. Oh,
I love it so much. I could have, it is not, it's a fast stitch. It really is. I have barely worked on this, and I've been kind of frustrated because at night when I want to sit down, I'm a little tired and I'm lazy to go pick it up. It's not like if it was in my hands, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it's not in my hands.
Oh my gosh, Sue, you are so fast.
It flies.
I love that lady.
Oh my gosh,
She's so creepy. I love her.
I love her. I love her. I love, what is it? Is this called fractal? You know the
Fraktur?
Fraktur? Is it, would you consider this that?
Yeah, kind
I feel
of.
like I would. Anyways, I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at her. I can't wait to do her dress.
Same. So my goal is, it's in 4 pages. I don't know if I'll be able to stick to it, but I'm working on the first page.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty fast. I have not put a lot of time into this.
Yeah. And it's only 4 pages. And can I tell you,
fabric is way more than we need.
Well, I'm doing, by the way, FYI, a lot of times I do give you a much bigger count than you need. So you'll have extra. I just would rather go that route than the other route.
Mm-hmm. I love it because I feel like it's going to be very usable.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually, yeah, exactly.
I love it.
What was I going to say about, Barbara Anna. I love her. And what was I going to say about her? I'm losing my mind here. Oh, that's Lisa Smith texting me back. Look at that. Lisa Smith, not texting, but she just liked my post or you have to look at her stories this morning.
I think I did Instagram. With the
her little vignettes of all the patriotic stuff. Did you see her bunting over the window?
I have those.
You have those. What an amazing idea. Make it into bunting.
I totally agree with you. I fell in love with it. He made me want to pull out all of my American. Not that I have that much.
What is that called? American Heroes or something? Is it a little?
It's little. How? I don't know. I've got them all.
Yeah, it's the one with like
Betsy Ross.
Betsy Ross, Nathan Hale, they're little small ones.
Hale lived right down the street from me. Nathan Hale Homestead is in Coventry, Connecticut.
Oh, we have to go there when I come visit that.
We have a farmer's market every Sunday.
That sounds so nice where you live. I love the East Coast.
It feels, I would say that about where you live. I swear it's when you live somewhere you don't appreciate it.
You don't. You don't.
I mean, New England, I love New England. I would always live in New England. I am a New England girl. I need the 4 seasons just the way they are. Mm-hmm. Connecticut is a beautiful state. It should be. Mm-hmm. The amount of money. It's a very high cost of living in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. know why. I mean, it gets super ritzy, not where I live.
Yeah.
Well. But like the closer you get to New York City, Connecticut is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So anyway, Barbara Anna.
Yes, Barbara Anna.
I think her patterns are so well written. I love her charts. I think her and Nicola and Who else? They all went to the same school of design, like
Charting.
chart design.
Can I tell you what I love about Barbara Anna? And I just discovered it. You can get, the chart is in black and white and color. In some areas, the color is super helpful. In other areas, the black and white is way easier because you use very distinct differences in like values in charting. It's really important. You can't have like one dot next to a line. No, you need a dot next to a filled in square. A slash next to the filled in circle. Like that is something I learned in charting. It's like you need distinction between each change of color. It's so important on your eyes.
If it's in black and white. Yeah, I agree, because I'm struggling with one right now. I don't know which one offhand, but it's black and white and I'm having such a hard time. I'm not gonna even say which one it is. I went on a little purchasing bender of charts.
Can I tell you which other Barbara Anna I would like you to chart? Is it like, does she have a Noah's Ark or animal? What is the popular one?
All things
creatures.
All creatures great and small. I want to do that one.
Did you get that for us?
Yes.
Okay, are you still getting this one? Because I'm waiting.
Well, here's the problem with that one.
Okay, there's a problem.
Well, okay, all creatures great and small. I'm going to look into that one. So this one, yes, it is. I got it too now. Flag Flock. Here it is. Oh, so gorgeous. I went to go check on the colors, and my supplier does not carry anymore 3 of the week's colorways. So I don't know if they're discontinued or if it's just a temporary thing. I wrote to them and they were like, yeah, no, we haven't heard anything. You know, we just can't get those 3 colors anymore. And I mean, I feel like you can find Carolina Cecil still in shops, and Driftwood and Lily Pad.
Have you gone right to the source?
Well, I probably at least should go right to Weeks. But
if you're kidding, they will sell to you.
Yeah. No,
so I say that. That was my experience. I didn't use Weeks. Weeks was fairly new. Hand dyes were fairly new.
Yeah, so that was my little roadblock. My supplier that's been great with Weeks is just, they don't carry those 3, and they didn't know if it was a permanent change in Weeks or what. So yeah, I know. Okay. But I got this cute one called Flirting, which I think is so adorable. It's the man and woman. Look at, she's got such a smart hat on. Love that tall hat. I love those trees. That'll be fun. Of course, then this one, the
dying to work on that.
Yeah, the Equality Sampler. And then this is because of Lori Holt. I fell in love with her color change for this friendship sampler. I think it's called traditional.
Yes, I love that one.
I loved her color changes on it. Of course, she made it her reds and greens. She changed, as she does quite often, and I made note of that. So when I kit this up, I'm going to do it just like her. I love it. More Blackburn. And then I fell in love with this one. It's It Is Well With My Soul from it's the Sunday Stitches from Heartstrings Samplery. She is doing classic hymns, and again, I grew up with these hymns, and this one to me is such just it's a lot of times sung at funerals at our church that I grew up in. It's just, I can see it in a frame just like this on my piano. So I'm going to put that on there. And I think too, I have friends that are, you know, we're starting to lose parents and whatnot. So I think, wouldn't this be a nice little gift for a friend, you know, a really close friend?
Series.
It is. Every month she comes out with a different hymn, classic hymn, like traditional hymns. Well, although there are some that are a little more contemporary, but yeah, you can only get these through stitch shops. She's selling them just to stitch shops. And
I have
Sunday Stitches.
Are you hearing the echoing of my voice?
No.
That's weird.
Do I have an echo?
No. It's really weird.
Okay, then I was like,
so where did you get all this stuff?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like, did you go to a store and go shopping?
No, I don't have a store around here. These I got because I'm a patron of Michelle's.
Yes.
Michelle's Farm Girl Goats lady that we love. And then the rest I got from Teresa, Kitten Stitcher.
I've been trying to place an order with her.
It was very nice to place an order with her. Now, I think it's so neat when people have unique, I don't know, I just felt the need to have a collection starting of, I don't know. I decided anytime I see a Rachel sampler.
I love it. There's Rachel samplers.
So I just typed in Rachel on Kitten Stitcher and I got a few. Now this is Rachel Marshall. I should take this out.
I know.
Am I really going to stitch all these? I don't know.
Oh, a little closer if you can.
There we go.
Love it, Rachel.
It's really pretty. So this is Rachel Marshall. This is from Threads of Gold, Sheepish Designs and Antiques. Threads of Gold. It seems like I think this was in her, she's got like an estate sale section on her website that's like her treasures that some shops closed and she got all their old stuff.
Oh.
And then I had to get Snooty Parrots. Snooty Parrots, that's Rachel Howells, 1856.
Oh, Rachel.
I've seen people do that one.
Okay, I'm going to need a collection now.
Susan samplers.
Do you think?
I don't know.
It's an old name, right?
That's not an old name.
It isn't?
Susan.
Susan's like my generation for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. This one is just like heat sealed or something. The Scarlet Letter, Historic Needlework Reproduction.
Oh, Scarlet Letters are the best.
I don't know how to open this without, I'm not going to open it. Rachel Jarrett, 1760.
Oh,
it's like
I'm
really going to do this one.
That would be the first one I started. Scarlet Letters are the best. The best.
Skill and expertise in sampler making did not necessarily peak in the mid to late 17th century and then wane during what is commonly called the golden age of English sampler making. These skills survived and re-emerged in samplers even today. This reproduction is a perfect example of that. It was a reproduction of sorts when it was first created. At a glance, it appears to be of the 17th century. On closer inspection, though, one can detect some elements of later design.
It's not a kit, is it?
No.
They sell kits on their website. They're amazing.
Really? Mm-hmm. A sampler from the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge, England.
Oh my God.
Maybe I got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I would start that.
Okay. So that's my little bender on. I haven't had a bender on these.
I know. I feel like I'm going to start saving my money for my trip down to see Sharon. I've really got to make that happen soon.
Yeah. Yes.
Soon.
Okay, can I talk punch needle?
You can talk punch needle.
I am in love with punch needle. Can I just tell you, like, I'm already thinking, what's the next one going to be?
I know, and I haven't even touched it. It's terrible. But did you actually post the first picture or did you send me a text where you were like, I don't know. I think it was on one of our group texts. And you were like, it looks like something else. And I was like, oh, it's nice. Then.
That's right. I texted you guys because I saw like when I punched, I was about to put it on Instagram. And then I looked at the picture of it and it looked like a woman's chest. Let's just say. And I was like, I can't put that on Instagram.
But, and it's that proof of, and I know Vonna talked about this on a post and I haven't had a chance.
I listened to it while I was quilting. Fabulous. If you need an intro to punch needle, go to Vonna Pfeiffer's website immediately. Her YouTube channel.
Series. But I did see a post on when you first get started, it looks a little wonky, it looks a little sloppy, but trust it because it all fills in and comes together. And that's how I feel about your piece. Like, wow, like don't be impatient. Don't keep pulling it out. Just
don't keep looking.
Going. Yeah, just punch. Just punch.
Yeah. So we're talking about the one I'm doing right now by the fabulous Michelle Palmer. She is one of my favorite artists of the year right now. I think her work is stunning. Go check out her Etsy shop and her Facebook. Her Facebook has examples of how she finishes a lot of her punch needle, which is the help I kind of would like now too. But this one I'm doing is in this current spring issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It's called Chickadees, Pretty in Pink. And here's how far I have gotten with that.
Rachel, it is stunning. And this is your second punch needle ever. Doesn't that speak volumes?
Yes.
To the simplicity of punch needle?
Yes, it's such instant gratification. I think I've sat down with this maybe 3 times, and I was so wanting to just finish it because I just have yellow background now, but I was like, no, I think it'd be more fun to show it off partially. So that's where I'm at right now.
So the background, are you shadowing and letting it all come together?
Well, it's just one color of yellow, the background. But what I'm trying to do is with the texture, I'm doing kind of an echo thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Around the birds. Yeah, I'm trying that out for the first time, just playing. But I remember, I think I showed last time the flowers. It just looked like a hot mess. It was just like.
It didn't look like a hot mess. It looks like punch needle always looks. You just have to get used to it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, it doesn't look great. We're used to, every stitch on cross stitch is perfect.
And this is what it looks like on the side that you're actually doing the punching. And I've gotten so much better. I mean, it doesn't take long for you to really get into the rhythm where you don't have, it's not pulling up a lot. You're just lifting, drag, lift, drag. You just get into a nice rhythm. My hands don't hurt as much because I'm more relaxed now than the first time.
That's the point I've got to get to. I find my hands get very stressed.
Yeah.
Because I haven't given it enough time.
Yeah.
To get that rhythm.
Yeah. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, oh, what do I want to do next? What do I want to do next? Well, what does Michelle have on her Etsy shop? She just came out with this Fraktur collection. Sue.
Does she do kits? Wow.
I know. And if you go to her site, she has, I think, 150 some patterns. I love her colors. I just, that is just calling my name with the big sunflower in the middle. I love this one with the acorns.
So are you just buying the patterns? Is that what's?
Yeah, on hers, it's just the patterns.
It's the pattern you put.
I'm toying with the idea of, should I make a kit for the next one that I do? I mean, I easily can, and I've got the punch needles in stock, and I don't know, I'm going to throw that out to you guys out there. Would punch needle kits enthuse you?
I say yes, just because anything that makes our lives easier, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't mind going to the store, but I like it all in one place. I don't like when I sit down and go, I have all the colors but one, and it's always the one that I need the most.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's always the starting point. And so for me to just open up a package and know everything is there, there's nothing better.
Yeah. And I know sometimes people, it's a challenge to find the Ultra Punch and the fabric. And I do have a whole bolt of the fabric that we use for these. And I think I might just try one. Now these, I think this is a more advanced punch needle. These are, I don't know, lots of color changes. What do you think, Sue? I just feel like
I believe punch needle is punch needle. I really, really do. It doesn't matter that you're changing colors. It makes it more interesting. It's still the same technique. I don't believe there's levels of difficulty in it, right? I mean, your first one just to get a feel for how it works. But you can do that on a scrap piece of fabric and draw a circle.
I know that. I really think starting with that sheep one that we did the punch along was nice. There's not a lot of color, lots of big areas to really practice that punch. And Vonna, oh, you got to, guys, you got to check out her. She does an exquisite job of teaching that punch needle. And one of her tips, she has multiple punch needles that she loads up with different colors.
She's such a load and locker. Like she is with stitching. She taught me that, and that makes sense. It makes sense. The problem is the punch, they're a little pricey.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're
a little
pricey.
pricey, but you know what? Even if you have two, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
if honestly, if you're going to become a serious punch needler, it's worth the investment.
Then
If
it's
you're
not
a
expensive.
casual punch needler, I would be like, yeah, whatever.
Loading really isn't a big deal. Once you overcome the initial, like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, it's so easy. It's a two-step process.
You know what it means? It just means you have to stop and find the video. That's the hardest part about it. Find the video of how to do it. The minute you turn the video on, you're like, oh yeah, I remember, and you shut it off.
Yeah, exactly. She also had a tip on hers. We had a lot of people talk about when they punch and then they pull out and there's holes and what do you do? I'm not going to say what her tip is, but
watch.
Brilliant. Oh my gosh. Brilliant. It'll make you, I'll do drop a little hint. It'll make you want to go to the dentist.
Floss, toothbrush.
I don't know, Sue. Anyway, Sue, you know, you're a pro.
I haven't seen it. So I don't know.
So back to our guest room QalSalPal mail.
Yeah.
The punch needle portion of it. I mean, you really think all of them could be easily transferred? And what's the process you'll use to do that?
Absolutely. I am literally going to take the pattern. I don't want to show the pattern, but I'm going to look at the pattern. Oh man. I have to still empty that oven and refill it and twist yarn, and all I want to do is stitch.
Now, how much more yarn do you get out of that puppy than you would? Like, can you double your?
It's the thing is you load it and then it's probably about 70. The way I dye, a lot of dyers can get more, but the way I dye, I can get about 70. I think 70 or 75. But you turn it on and you walk away for hours. And
that's amazing.
Amazing. So I'm not standing over that hot stove, the hot burners all day long. It does get warm. But then usually I have to then twist what I did the day before. So there's a really nice cycle to it, which I haven't aced yet because I'm still rinsing. And it takes, for me right now, it takes about 3 hours to load it. So it's not like, because you're dyeing all the yarn and loading it. So I'm just going to look at this pattern. Okay, so the size of this pattern, quick flip, like see how big that is? I'm going to keep it that size. I'm going to trace it and then transfer it. Yeah. Simple. I may give the flower, obviously the squared off areas, I'm going to, how it goes like this, because there's no, I'm going to put a diagonal line.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I am too. And that's just going to be so fun.
I think any of them would be beautiful. Any of them. I don't see why one would work over the other. I might look at some and go, how much background do I want? Is it a fuller design with less background?
You will need to punch the background in color.
Yes.
That's one thing to think of.
Yes. So I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, that'll be such a fun process.
So I'm going to start by making two. The other thing you could do, oh my gosh, think of this. You could do like in a row, 3, right? And do like, you could almost do like a penny rug around it, or there's so much you could do.
Or I really want to combine, like I was thinking for this one, I might find a fabric that has all these colors in it. Maybe I'll do her little pom-pom around it and then applique it onto the fabric and then frame. I don't know, I can just see like a whole, I want to frame some of these and put them on a wall. She's got some framed in her shop on her Facebook page. These are gorgeous in frames.
Not enough hours.
No, exactly. Okay.
I love that you have so much to show, because it's just like for me, I get to sit back and do it.
Oh, how are we doing here on time?
Okay, I know, so you've got a pizza date.
I do. I got to take a bunch of gaggle of boys to the pizza place. Okay, so I took my ultimate beginner quilt top to my quilting shop. This is the first time that I've gone to a place and said, I need to get this quilted by a long armor.
So tell me this. You know what, darn, I hate to go through the process now because I know you still have a lot to show. I'm just curious of what you showed up with, what our expectation of you to bring was.
Yes.
Because for me, that's the biggest mystery.
Well, my initial visit, I told her what I had, and she said, oh, here's a form. You just fill it all out and bring your top in. So I filled it out.
Top.
Yeah, I brought the top in, but I also brought my batting that I had bought. That's called batting, by the way. That last time we were calling stuff, we know it's batting. But anyway, I took that with me, and I took my backing as well, which is that really cool vintage with the sheep on it, and then it had all the newspaper stuff.
Did you have to piece it, or was the piece big enough?
No, I bought like a 5-yard piece of that wide back because I want to use it for some other stuff too. And I just gave it all, and she's just going to cut it, for me, load it on her thing. And she said she'll use the backing or the batting that I gave her if she gets 6 inches, a 6-inch margin around the batting. If the batting is the same size, she won't do it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So if that is not the case, she's going to give me my batting back, and they have a batting there that she'll use. But it's a 10-week turnaround time. 10 weeks.
Well, that's a good sign because it means she's really good and people want.
Okay, maybe that's true.
That
makes me feel better.
Yeah,
she said she had just received people from COVID had made all these quilt tops, and people are bringing in stacks at a time. So she gave me a 10-week quote.
That's all right. That's all right because it's going to be done.
Exactly. It'll be I'll kind of forget about it, I think, and then all of a sudden the end of summer I'll be here and I'll be like, oh, my quilt.
So excited.
So that's where we're at with that. Okay, we talk quilting.
Can I just, because you've got so much good quilting to show, I'm just going to show you what the new thing I purchased. The pool boys out there trying to get the pool ungreen.
Our pool, listeners, our pools, our pool this year, it wasn't even green when we opened it up, and it literally took us 24 hours and we could swim in it.
We quite often have that, and it could be that quick here even. It's not like it used to be, but we had a warmer winter, and I think a warmer winter allows more, I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyways, I'm just going to show the one thing that I bought around quilting because I'm going to start this.
Yes.
You know what I'm having trouble with is collecting everything you need. I go to start and I'm like, shoot, I didn't know I needed that. So I bought the Lori Holt Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that wasn't on the front because that's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm. That's a 10-inch, what are those called? Layer cake?
Layer cake.
Or 12?
Well, I don't know either. So I got those. Then I bought a Moda, whatever the 5 inches are called.
Yep.
I bought one of those, all different colors. I didn't like it. My brain couldn't figure out all the different colors and where they were going to go. So I went and got a Moda, just this.
That's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful. This is so easy. This is probably going to be my first foray.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all I have.
That is exactly what it has been for me. So I also, after seeing Nicole from Nicole's Needleworks do this, I thought what a perfect intro to my new machine, because it's just a straight seam. New machine meaning my featherweight. And I have 2 new machines. Oh, yeah. When it rains, it pours around here. I went 20 years with a little one. So, but anyway, so I, at the quilt store, I thought I want to get, this requires a 10-inch stack and a 5-inch stack. And
Can I just say, I almost wish I got 2. I wish I got enough to make the bigger, but you know what? I'm so much better off if I could just stick with small and throw quilt.
For your first one, a smaller one. And if you want to make it bigger, you could just do a border or something,
True.
Which I may do still, but I did buy 2 packs. And what I'm using is by Moda. It's called Lakeside Story, and I thought I would make a quilt for my oldest.
Yeah.
He's a sailor, and the just some of my favorite patterns from it are the sailboats. I know, and I love with the bear. This tree style is so pretty. I just thought this was so cool.
Oh, I love it. So now, is it just you're showing it to me differently, or we're supposed to?
Well, right now I'm showing you, this is the first step where you lay your 5-inch.
Right.
And you sew, and then you cut off.
Right.
But I'm just
a different corner than the other one.
Well, I could hold it this way.
Oh, that's what I thought. I could. Oh my gosh, Rachel.
I don't know why I held it that. It's just the way it's coming.
Trying to do it in my brain. Like, is there a different way? That doesn't make sense. All the corners are the same, but I couldn't turn it in my brain. Thank you.
Well, I had to make sure that for the the patterns that had
they're going the right way.
That they're going the right way. Yeah. Make sure you do that if you have that. But I love for him. And Sue, I think this is going to be your favorite one. The Fireflies.
I love Fireflies.
And I selected this greeny color, which isn't in all of them, but it's in some of them. I hope it looks okay. I didn't want anything too garish for him, just, but I love that plaid is my favorite. And then the Fireflies are also in a dark.
Oh, I would do a whole quilt with all Fireflies in different colors.
Yeah, so I just want to show some of the patterns that I really liked from that, or skews, or whatever they call them. So I've only made 1 square so far.
Oh, I want to see it. Oh, Rachel.
It's okay.
It's perfect.
It's not.
It is. Oh my God.
When you are using your 5-inch to make the corner, I think it's called snowballing, you get all of these leftover triangles that you're cutting off. And I did not want to throw those out or anything. And I thought, what a perfect thing to do on my new Singer featherweight. So I made all of these 4-inch half square triangles. Is that what these are called?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Listen to me. Yep. Like I'm the expert. I have no idea. It just makes sense.
Yeah. So I think I might, I don't know, make a pillow or something that'll go with this. I don't know. I'm going to have fun with it. But this was such a great chain piecing thing for my new featherweight. And I have the old fashioned kind of seam guide that screws in, and it's got a metal. I did not know what it was. I'm unscrewing it right now.
I feel like I know what you mean.
I did not know what this thing was that came with my machine, but there's a hole that you can screw this down, and this is where it rubs against the, however, big you want your seam to be. And it works so well, because I was finding if I went really fast on my machine, my fabric would kind of go a little crazy. But with this, it just went choo, choo.
I don't think I have one of those.
You need one of these. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I really right onto the featherweight.
Yeah, there's 2 holes where you can just screw right into the base of my machine.
All right, I'm gonna see another thing I'm gonna need now.
And then I got this from eBay too. I wanted the old-fashioned brush.
Yeah.
I got it for like $6. It says Singer on it.
I know. I feel like I need to start getting all the fun extras, but I have enough now to really use it.
Yes.
I have it. I can do it.
Yes, and the Featherweight Doctor on YouTube on Wednesdays does an Attachment Wednesday. She did an Attachment Wednesday show. It's live, but she puts it on YouTube. And it's taught me a lot about. Last night was the Penguin, which is the attachment or foot for quilting big layers. Why am I words? It's the walking foot.
I swear it has got to have something to do with this whole what we've lived in, because I went out with a friend, names, words like that I always have known, and literally the 2 of us would be like, it's got to have something to do with re-entry, right?
I don't know. But anyway, it was the walking foot. It's called the Penguin because it's black and metal, and the feet go like this when it waddles like a penguin. But they said they're like $2,000.
Oh.
I'm gonna pray I find one like in a box at an estate sale or something.
Yes. Would you even know that's what it was?
Now I would, because I watched the Featherweight Doctor.
I'm so
This
bad.
little gadget too helped me so much in squaring up my 4-inch half square triangles.
I found I have so many different templates because I do almost quilt a lot and have started many quilts and bought all the supplies. So I've got tons of templates. Like, is that what they're called, templates?
That might be rulers.
Plastic things.
Plastic things. I think they're all just different kinds of rulers.
Yeah, I've got a ton.
Then I found there's a pattern to make a cover for my Featherweight. Now there is actually fabric that looks like that. It's all Singer fabric. I don't know if I'm going to use that, but it's a free pattern on the Robert Kaufman website. Robert Kaufman Fabrics, featuring Sewing with Singer.
See, and I feel like I need a cover because mine is out right now, and with the pollen and the dust in the air, I kind of feel like I need a cover.
Yes. Okay, so that is my first little foray into quilting with my machines. Now, let's talk Flea Market Flowers.
Where did you get that?
I got it from Fat Quarter Shop. I went all in with this one just because it's my first. But the thing is, and she's fixed this problem. All of the binders going forward are going to be a little bit longer because when you use page protectors, they stick out. So Sue and I are both doing the Flea Market Flowers quilt for our Guest Room QalSalPal.
Killing it though.
And I thought I'd just share a little bit of my process.
Yes, please.
With how I kind of got organized. So I printed out all of the stuff that's on her blog about what you need and all that jazz. And then when I got my fabric, she has every single fabric and every cut you need to make from it. And I just started from the top and went down, but I did not, per her instructions, I did not cut out any of the petals for the,
I know.
I've been saying that word all week. It came to mind. Dresdens. Thank you, God. As she said, do not cut for the Dresdens, but I cut everything else out. And then I took page protectors and I used her little, her little stickers that have the alphabet. And I put in A through O, how many, and I got myself organized. So now when I need to work on a particular thing, particular
block,
thank you.
Where?
Particular block, I pull this out. Now I did not put any stems with them or any leaves. All the stems and leaves are in a pile because they're all the same. I mean, you cut.
Did you make all the leaves?
No, I'm making the leaves for each one. So I'll show you. So my first one that I did and finished, and oh, my baby lock, I love my Featherweight, but you know, progress is good and modern stuff is nice too. And my baby lock was a dream to make this first block.
Rachel.
It's okay. I mean, it's my first block.
Perfect.
I think everyone's would look perfect. Even my little, I feel like my
mouth is open.
16 patch up there could have been a little nicer, but it's fine. It's whimsical. It's fun. And the Dresden is so fun to do. It's not the most fun to cut out. It's kind of annoying. I'd like someone to cut all of my Dresdens for me, but I love sewing them. And I'll show you, I'm in progress of a Dresden right now. But I just followed Lori's amazing video tutorial for this one. Her interfacing works like a dream because when you press it, well, first of all, you don't have to pin the interfacing on the fabric. I just slapped them together and ran them through the machine.
So where is the interfacing being used?
The interfacing is behind all of this.
The leaves.
The leaves, not the Dresdens or the stem, but it's behind this as well. And basically you're cutting out a rectangle of this fabric, and then you're taking your interfacing and you're using your shapes tool to draw around the interfacing. You're slapping this, you're slapping your rectangle fabric with your interfacing, and then you're taking it to the sewing machine and just sewing the line that you just made on your interfacing. And then you flip it right side out. And when you iron it, they flatten out. It doesn't feel bubbly or anything. You know, it just feels wonderful.
I can't believe that is so, and I know it shouldn't be, and I know it won't be once they sit down, but that is so overwhelmingly intimidating. Even though I can see it all.
If you just go step by step, it couldn't be easier. I mean, and be kind to yourself. Like, I'm really, like, if I got a little bubble in here, that's gonna quilt out, you know.
Oh, yeah. No.
And I just started playing with my machine for applique, and my machine, my new Baby Lock has a button you press for applique. It's basically for applique, where every time you stop, your foot goes up, your needle stays in, you twist, and then you just start going again. You don't have to, you know, lift up, turn.
And so is it like a zigzag stitch?
I did what she said. I did a zigzag, the little zigzag that she likes, but then I did a bigger zigzag over here, and you can't see very well, but I like the bigger zigzag. Oh, and for the my bottom bobbin, I'm just using a white, but my top bobbins I'm changing, which with my Baby Lock, it's got an automatic threader, so couldn't be easier. And I'm actually using my grandma and great grandmother's old colored threads that I inherited that match perfectly. I just feel like, you know, it's, so that's making it even more special. So that's the first block that she had the video for that teaches you really all the techniques you need to do that. And I started my second block, and I'm finding that I do, like, one evening I'll just do the cutting out and getting everything prepped. And then the next evening I'll sew, and then the next time I sit down, I'll actually do the applique. But this is kind of one in progress, where see, that's the applique, and I just have pinned it down right now.
And now you still have to do all the points for those?
Yes, so that's where I'm at, the Dresdens.
Yes.
So it's 36 of those wedges that you cut out, and then you chain piece them. And then you cut them all apart and you flip them. There's a whole technique.
Yes,
but this is what they look like when you chain piece. Isn't that fun?
Oh my gosh. Oh, Rachel, you're like killing it.
I love it.
It.
I absolutely think it's so fun. I can listen to a book on my phone. It's so fun. So that's where I'm at with the second one, which the challenge on the second one is these are much smaller than the first one. So how cute is that going to be on here? And
okay, so what's up with the quilt boards? Did you buy those at Fat Quarter Shop?
I bought 2, but I think I'll make, you know, I just wanted to have a couple that I understood how to make them, but they're priceless. It is kind of nice to have these. All you need to do is get a foam core board and glue on some batting or felt for now. But these are I think this is her fabric from this line.
I love it. I'm going to buy some, because if I have to make them, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, this is from Prim. Her design board from Prim. But yeah, this is the biggest one, the biggest design board, and then I got a small one.
Love it.
So that's it.
You're like killing it. I'm so like excited for you.
I love it. I'm not in a huge rush. I just felt inspired, and now I'm feeling really inspired to hit my stitching a little bit harder this week. It just goes and, you know, ebbs and flows.
The thing though, like I feel like emanates from you is how much you're loving it. Like I can feel it in the posts. I can feel it talking to you. It's like you're not, like, you're just going for it and enjoying it.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's fun, people.
Right?
And you know, and I if it's not going to be perfect.
No.
I already noticed, like, I didn't do the circuit sewing in a circle that small. I'm not good at it yet, and you know, it looks a little wonky, but that's part of the charm.
Exactly. And if we're aiming for perfect, it's never going to happen.
Exactly.
Like we're never going to sit down and do it.
No, that's why it's overwhelming, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to break it up into pieces, and let's just focus on the cutting. You know, I find I can't cut and sew same day.
Okay. That's so interesting. It is like that whole, like, in order to take away the overwhelmness is just focus on the task at hand. Like
right.
I do that with my work, period. And like yesterday I noticed like I wanted to get into a frenzy about how much I had to do. It's like, nope, nope, let's just one task at a time.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you're doing with the quilting, is one task at a time.
I literally, yes. I mean, on Mother's Day, my task was just to print out, or just to get in the binder all of the notes that she had provided on her blog and read through them and kind of come up with a game plan. And that was it. Oh, and I fondled my fabric. Yeah. I just looked at it again.
Well, I feel like it's patience, right? It's like just patience for each part of the process, which sometimes I lack. But again, my word for last year was practice. Like practicing that form of working on it is so cool. I'm so motivated.
I think stitching has really helped me. I mean, knitting takes a long time as well, but for some reason, stitching is even slower to me than knitting. And it really, slow and steady wins the race. When you have that finished object, it might be a year that it takes you, but it's, I don't know, it's good for us.
I know. Really I agree. And that's what really stopped me from stitching for many years is the speed of knitting. Like I can knit a sock in a day.
Yeah.
And when you look at how much stitching you get done in a day, it's not a lot, even if you're a fast stitcher.
Right.
But if you just keep, you're going to finish it. Like, I don't know. It was really a mindset I had to get over. Like, oh, it's not worth my time. It takes too long. It's like, no. Like, if you're enjoying it. And
absolutely. And again, the little mini goals help me with my stitching too.
Same.
It's like I want to just get that flower done.
That was the flea market, whatever that piece is that I finished.
Flea Market Flowers.
Was like I even broke it down to like one of the boxes a day.
Yeah.
Or like if it was a bigger box, I'm going to finish this flower tonight. And so you get that same sense of accomplishment. And my gosh, like I finished both those. It's like,
yes,
it doesn't have to happen in a day. It'll still get done.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Now I'm so motivated.
We have a drawing winner.
We do.
Remember? My fresh cut.
Yes.
That's already been started.
Yes, so many people wanted it.
Yes, I know. And I did a random generator on here. And what is so funny is when this person commented, I thought that would be so cool. Rachel Lasky won. So it's going from a Rachel to a Rachel. Yeah, she said, this Rachel would love to finish stitching your Rachel's fresh cut pattern, smiley face. I also have been wanting to start land that I love. Still need to figure out fabric though. Sue's finish of Prim and Proper looks so good. So I'll put a picture of
Rachel.
So Rachel, I'm so happy it's going to another Rachel. Why does that make me happy? So Rachel, would you send me an email? My email address is below, and give me your mailing address and I will send out this wonderful little kit to you.
That is so exciting.
Yay. Yay.
That is so exciting. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
Congrats, Rachel Lasky.
Okay. Now I'm looking at like all I want to do.
I know. And I gotta go
happens after a podcast.
I know. It's fun. Oh, I love it. I hope everybody out there is doing things that you enjoy. And I'd be curious if you, if there are people out there that would be interested in a punch needle kit, because that is something that I could definitely do. Yes, I got one. I got one.
Oh my God.
And I guess I'm just curious what you guys are all working on this weekend. And for many of us, it's a long weekend, and I hope that you have some ideas. What are you going to work on, Sue?
I don't know. It's a very long weekend. I think I would like to think I am going to sit at my machine one day. I know I have to work, like not work like a ton, but just because of all the newness and everything going on, I feel like I have to establish some sort of rhythm.
Yeah.
And get that down. But I really want to stitch and I really want to quilt. And I have been knitting a lot, so I feel like that piece of me has been filled up. Even though I'm loving knitting right now, it's so hard to love it all.
It's so hard. I want to spin.
So do I. And so I took rug hooking It wasn't really lessons, but I've gone on several rug hooking retreats. I've been to Cape May several times on their fabulous retreat, 2 or 3 times with a great friend of mine. And then I used to go on Mondays rug hooking up in Massachusetts. She was a teacher who became a good friend. And it was really more about the community of sitting and hooking together every Monday. And so anyways, my good friend here that introduced it to me is also friends with her. So we are all getting together very soon to sit around, hopefully outside, we're all vaccinated, getting together for a hook-in.
Oh, that sounds great. You need that.
I cannot wait, but it just means it's going to get me totally hooked on hooking again.
I took a hooking class at Chicago. I forget what that event was called, but Green Mountain Rug Hooking.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have one started that it's sitting there always looking at me.
Well, and rug hooking, we should really do an episode around rug hooking. We're not around, but with a lot of rug hooking. I've done a lot of rug hooking, and it's just like punch needle.
Well, punch needle is just a miniature version of it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know. You should show some of yours in the episode as well, that one over your fireplace.
I have 2 finished ones, completely finished, and then a couple that just need binding, which is just a sin.
And then you have one that you started that you got as a gift from a friend. That is just fabulous.
During the pandemic, I started it. It uses a lot of yarn. I really like using wool, but wool strips, but I'm really enjoying this one, and that's the one I want to work on right now. And
I inherited a tool from my grandma's or great grandma's that looks like it's a wool cutter.
Oh.
And you actually attach it to your table. And
that. Yep.
I'll have to dig that out when we talk about that.
I have one. I have a very old one. Again, a gift. They're very expensive. I want the one that's made in Canada. I forgot the name of it, but it's to die for. It's an investment. I don't even know if they're still making them, but I will get that information from my friends. I have to quit my job.
I follow on YouTube, I have for a long time, or on Instagram, someone from Nova Scotia that's a big rug hooker.
Yep.
Can't think of her name, but
Deanna Fitzpatrick.
That's who it is. Oh my gosh, I want to go visit Nova Scotia just to go to her studio.
I've been.
You've been? Oh, man.
I've been. Deanna Fitzpatrick is the most amazing woman in the entire world. She is a rug hooker, but she's much more of an artist.
Yes.
And in my eyes, she takes the rug hooking and flips it upside down. She doesn't follow rules. She's fabulous. She's so creative.
She's is on her
lovely
YouTube.
Human. So we went there for a retreat, and then we went to Prince Edward Island after that. And I'll just tell you this story really quick. We met someone there who's a huge rug hooker. She wasn't a teacher or anything. She was just a hooker. She owned an old Victorian house. Oh my God, I still have dreams about this house. There was rug hooking in every single room. Like, not like projects, like her entire house was a rug hooker's delight. Delight. Oh my gosh. And then we stayed it was her cottage we stayed in. She graciously let us stay. And you went up over a dune to the ocean where there were horses. That was a long time ago.
Wow.
I know.
Rug hooking is so beautiful. There's a vendor that comes to the Michigan Fiber Festival that everybody's just like, wow. I mean, I love the movement of it that the loops make, and Deanne Fitzpatrick, she'll just like take a piece of the weaver's cloth or whatever you use, and she just like, but today I think I'll do a house with some dunes and grass, and here we go. She just draws it out, and then she just poop.
Oh,
she just pull.
She's a machine.
She's
a machine, and to watch her is mesmerizing. She does a Facebook Live every week.
Yes, she does.
Every week.
And she used to just do like a 2-minute segment, and I'm like, no, you got to give me more. And now she's doing like a 30-minute.
Yeah, she's amazing. Oh my gosh.
I will get into, there's no doubt in my mind I will get into that at some point.
Oh, can I tell you how fabulous this, the one that I finished would be hooked? Lori Holt, let's get together and discuss other options for your patterns.
Lori, if you could join us next Thursday on Sue's Periscope,
that
would be great.
We can discuss it all then. Oh my God.
Lori, though, she said how, like, she liked she said, great job to my first flower.
Oh, see, you're her best friend already.
I am.
I got to get going on that quilt. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, you have to go. I'm really envious of what you're doing. I don't know why. Because
going to the high school and picking up 5 boys. I love hearing them talk. Oh my God.
I know. I'm envious. I used to do it, and it used to. I'm just envious.
And then if like they say something and I can't not say anything, I'll say something, and then it's like crickets in the back. And then it's like they forget I'm there or something.
Oh, there's nothing better. The things that I used to learn, I always had a full van. Yes, I had a minivan. It was always chock full every day. I love kids that age so much.
I do too. They're good. I think we're in good hands. These teenagers.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they've got good heads on their shoulders. They're much, I don't know, we could go into a long discussion on that too.
Yeah.
But we have people watching us, maybe. I don't know if you've lasted this long. Thanks, you guys. We just love chatting with you, and we hope I hope that you feel like you just sat down with a couple of good friends. And
yeah, I love when I use that.
I do too. That makes me so happy, because that's how I am when I watch.
Same.
Yep.
All right, I just panicked that I didn't record, but the voice told us we did, so we did.
Oh, that's right. You are being recorded.
All right, guys, go off. Have fun. Oh, one last thing. Under the Wooden Willow, my favorite place to buy from.
Look at that. One of those. I saw those come up, and I was like, they're gone already. How did you get it so fast?
No, they're not always gone. I score a lot of her stuff. She ships immediately, like 3 days. It's amazing. So, and in every order you get these, which I love so much. I use them in my journal. Free. Every order. I've got a couple here. I don't know where the other one went to. Yeah.
Or is it just the Sue special?
No, she doesn't even know who I am. I love it. So this is my pancake. So it's all going in my sewing room on my beautiful hutch, which is my dining room.
Which you need to share with us that too when you have a chance.
We are going to. It's getting there. All right. I think this stuff is working on my garden fence.
I think we should just keep talking and see how much you could get done while you're busy.
So funny. So he was working by the pool, and quite often things go wrong down there, and there's stuff that gets said, and he can hear me because my windows are open. So he's probably like, God, I can't even get mad down here now. Winnie was being fresh. I heard him going, Winnie.
So funny. This is my whole house too. Brian's the outside. Well, you like gardening.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? I don't either.
Hate gardening. I just want a garden.
Me too. And Brian's my gardener. And
Dave is my gardener, but the vegetable garden is up to me now.
Oh.
I hate it. I just want to be inside playing. I don't want to be out there working.
I am the same way. I wanted to be that person. I tried. Early on, I tried.
I try. It's always a fail.
I appreciate though, and I love, I'll cook what comes out of Brian's garden. We've got an amazing herb garden going on right now, so I'm trying to figure out I'm going to make an herby couscous that I saw on Food Network. One Day at a Time. Valerie Bertinelli. I love her little show on Food Network.
I've got to get back to Food Network. I
DVR that one. And then when I have a chance, I watch, because everything she cooks
is delicious.
Yeah, looks great. Okay, we are definitely done.
All right, my friend.
Yeah. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you on the next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye.